Welcome to the B6.
Welcome
Back
to the B6.
back on the bus.
Yes, sir. Been a minute.
Yeah, we gotta stay consistent. Give our viewers, our fans, our
Yeah.
what they need, what they waiting for. If people tuning in, we gotta make sure we supply them. So
Yes,
we got
sir.
we got to do a better job getting on here consistently.
Yeah.
But we have something today. I mean, something I think people be interested in. And the topic is called "Until Death Do Us Part." So, like exploring the marriage of boundaries, like the limits.
That should sound
Well,
depressing, man.
yeah,
Till death do us part.
yeah. Till death do us
That's
part.
final,
Like,
man.
well, like when you get married, that's it's supposed to be until death do us part. You should it sh-
Ah,
sickness and health, like better, rich or poor, like the whole vows that I took. You haven't taken it yet, but you're supposed to be with your partner forever until death.
let's just put it like this for the single people or the mingling people. What's your limit? Is what I want to know. Uh, I think it's a good, interesting topic. I was talking about it. I was actually clocking out for work, and it shit turned into like a 20-minute conversation. I overheard one of my coworkers talking to a female, talking to their their friend, and they was talking about Jay-Z, about the cheating scandal, and I was like, bro, it's like years ago. Why are y'all still talking about this? And then
Becky,
it went, who?
Becky,
I don't even know who the woman was, if he cheated or whatever. He
Becky with
barely
the
got.
long. That's what the term Becky with the long hair came from.
Oh yeah,
Remember?
okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Beyonce. All right. So, um, I got real defensive on Jay Z. It's like basically saying that's years ago, man. This man made a song, confessed his apologies, you know, on music, you know. And the last time I checked, and I heard him talking, I almost had to Google. I'm like, are they having a problem? Are they breaking up? Why are you talking about them? And then she just went straight female coverage of, you know, she could get better or she deserves better. And I'm like, what did he do recently? You know, as far as I know, he's making money for his family, supporting, hanging out with the kids, building businesses. Everybody seems happy. Why are you talking about? Then he said he's not that attractive. So I said, what if they broke up? Who should she go with? Who's gonna fill the space that he's been filling for everything that Beyonce got going on? Not to say she can't do better, but what I was trying to say is that it's very hard to walk away from somebody that you had a kid with, multiple kids with, you have business ventures with, you have homes with. I think a lot of people, when they split, they just think about the moment. They don't think about the long term and what they're walking away from, family, friends, uh, the mutual friends that you 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 got together with. So it just went into just a debate. She could do better. She's a multi-millionaire. But if we take Beyonce and Jay Z out of the equation, what we want to know is what's your limit? Blacks, what's your limit? I'm gonna tell you what's my limit, but what's your limit?
Before I get into my limit, because it was your opinion, male opinion, and a female opinion, and I think a lot of our conversations, my side tend to land on the female. I'm like, I don't know if I'm just pro female, but like, bro, like if you would flip that question, because you said people, but I think you really meant to say women, because if it was Beyonce who cheated on Jay, would you have the same response? If it was you, if your wife cheated on you, would you want to
What
stick it out? Would you have the same response? Would you have the same opinion that you have now? Like if the tables was turned? That's the question I want to know before I give you, because my answer is like I actually had this conversation with my wife. That's how I usually start the show. I
Mm-hmm.
throw it by her first, and we have a discussion, almost like how we having a discussion now. Me and
Mm-hmm.
my wife, we have the discussion. It's almost like it preps me. So
Mm-hmm.
I ask her opinion, and I give her mine's, and we talk. So I kind of had this conversation already. So, but I before I get into my answer, I mean, I want you to answer my question first. Like
All right.
if it was you, if it was Jay-Z that got cheated on.
Well, we already uh, stopped at cheating. I mean, I don't know if cheating would be my reason for leaving. Is that your reason for leaving? It has
It
to
used
be.
to be. It used to be. And it might still be. So I got to answer the question. Yeah. Well, so let me see.
No,
So
no, no, no. So,
I'll answer it because it's multi-level, multi-layer for me. When I was younger, um, there was no toleration. It was almost like it would be like death to me. Like say until death. I would feel rage. Like if that was done to me. But
but
then
you
I'm
would
like,
stay when you was
that,
younger. So you
when
saying
I
you
when
was
I
younger,
was
you would stay?
younger, I wouldn't tolerate it. I wouldn't stay. It's
Oh,
like
okay, okay.
I would feel rage. I would feel like I would want to hurt or kill somebody. Like if that was done, that's the type of anger probably had when I was younger. But like my wife said, is like when I gave her my answer, she was like, that's growth, because it's like, first of all, I'm not going to jail for anybody now. I have a lot to lose. I have a family, kids that I want to see, come up, be raised right and stuff like that, and an example. So I would hope now, um, not that it's not that serious, but a part of me would want to get past it and stick around, like your answer, for your family. That's what you want a female to do. I don't know if you would do that, but your answer that you gave, I would hope, I would want to work it out, with the wife, and try to somehow get past it. It will be difficult as hell, but I would want, to do it for my family, even for myself. Like, I mean, maybe what mistakes did I made? Why did she? What was I doing wrong for her to want to go and be with someone else?
Hmm.
Maybe I have some improvements. Um, but if she's willing to, like, if she say, "Yo, it was a slip. I messed up. I want to be with you. I'm sorry. I'll be willing to give it another try. But if she don't want to be with me, then yeah, I'm not gonna force or say, hey, you need to. I think that's the weak approach. Like, yo, be with me, not him. But she don't want to be with you. That's why she cheated. I wouldn't want to be with someone who don't want to be with me. But if she comes to me, like I said, and like, yo, I made a mistake. She's crying. I would never do it again, type of thing. And she was wrong. She's apologizing. I would try to work with it. I would try to stick around in that situation. How about you?
For me, I'm the same, but onto another level because I think I've experienced a little bit of everything, as far as breakups go. And what I've learned is that you need counseling uh, with whatever major event that's causing you to think this is over. Because you always going to have in the back of your mind, why me? Why did you do that? And then now you're starting to hold resentments to the person that is new in your life. You ever notice when you break up, or maybe you haven't known? I know I have. You break up with somebody and you go to somebody else that's been through the same relationship or same similar problems or issues. They give you flack for what they did or they went through in the past. They get this feeling of, oh, you ain't shit, or all men ain't shit, all women ain't shit. I'm not going to turn this into a one-sided thing, but there's people out there because they've been hurt so much that they just label everybody as the same. All men ain't shit, all women ain't shit. Those people haven't been through counseling. They haven't seen somebody, they haven't talked it out, they haven't come to cope with the person that they broke up with. They just they have unfilled answers. So I think before you just call it quits, and you get a mediator, somebody in the middle to help you diffuse the anger that's in you and just talk it out. So obviously a professional can help you out the best, but if you can't, then you go to a mutual friend that you trust, that that can give you a good advice and not just gonna steer you the wrong way. So
I don't mind the counseling, but before the counseling, I think you have to know whether or not. I don't want somebody to tell me what to do. I mean,
yeah,
I want someone to help me do what I want to do, but
but
you
at
got to
that
know.
moment, you're really mad, bro.
Yeah,
You're really mad. I mean, most men, I've asked this question, myself included, that cheating for a man is something that they can't cope with. They just can't. So it's a say we're built just like women. We need answers. So once the man has been cheated on, they usually just don't want to be with that person. They can't trust them. They're not the same. They don't look at them the same.
which is fine, bro. Like, yo,
No, it ain't.
especially no,
No.
if a man like now back on the other side, like if a guy just always cheating on a girl, cheating on his
Hmm.
wife, cheating on his, and with multiple women, not remorseful, why would I encourage a woman to stay with this guy? Like, why would I need counseling if I'm a female, if I'm a woman? Why would I need counseling for you to try to tell me
Well, no. Well,
to
no.
stay?
Well,
Like that's what I'm trying to say.
no.
Like,
Well, no. Maybe the person that's cheating needs the counseling too. But hey, no. Maybe they do because they
well,
just.
yes, for sure they do, but you could work on yourself all you want. But I don't need to be with you. Like, if my wife, like I gave you two different scenarios which I would stay and which I won't stay. And if my wife was a person that wasn't remorseful and kept on cheating, I would not want to stay. Like I
Yeah, but
wouldn't
how
try to
you
work
gonna
that out.
how you gonna believe her on your own? Like anybody could
You,
just cry. They're not gonna get over that shit though. I mean, the person that's affected is not gonna
yeah,
get over it easy.
it won't be easy.
Yeah,
That's first thing I said. But if you show your remorse and you could see, you could feel that. Like, I mean, if it's a one time thing, she said you taking her at her word, and
yeah.
if it's something you can work towards, but if it's like, yo, you had multiple men and you've been doing this for years, I'm like, why would I want to give you a chance? And if I'm a female, if I'm a woman, like
This is
I
a,
know a
this,
lot of guys that cheat a lot.
yeah, but there's a reason people do things that they do. And
Bro,
if you could,
that's
and you
fine.
could, you
Work
could
on
tell
yourself, but
exactly.
you don't need to be with someone that's willing to be committed to you and raise kids and all that, and you treat them. They don't need that.
Okay, so
And
let me ask you this: let's say he was cheated on, the person was cheated on multiple times, and you said the person came back remorseful, saying, "I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." Are you just supposed to forgive them and move on,
that
or,
like that
or
that's not
what's
for me. I wouldn't. For me, that's if you make a mistake, that's one thing. But even like my wife said, is like, sleeping with somebody that's not a mistake. But I was trying to convince her, like, it could have just happened the once, and you felt, like, damn, you regretted it right away, and it's like you don't want it to happen again, type of thing. That's the scenario where I say I could work it out. If in that situation where it happened, you regret it happened, and you was going through something in your life where it's like you let your guard down and then you cheated, and like I could probably get past that,
so?
probably. But
Let me not to cut you off, but I just to chime in on what that conversation was like at my job when I was explaining why he did what he did or why men do what they do, as far as cheating goes. And my reasoning was that when men get an opportunity, is not as many as a woman. A woman gets that opportunity every day. They wake up in the morning, get dressed, go outside. they get an opportunity presented it to them by the opposite sex, same sex, whatever. They're getting flirted on. And then this is before I even like dive that far. I asked random men in at my job. I said, "Hey man, when's the last time you was hit on or somebody like approached you?" And he looked up in the back of his head. It was like, and there was multiple people I asked, and every man was the same way. I asked
But we talking about
the
every man.
family,
We talking about Jay-Z because Jay-Z is a celebrity and they throw
and that's
themselves.
another thing. That's another thing. I'm gonna get to that too. But he wasn't always a celebrity, and he remembered the time when he was just a regular dude, Marcy Projects, trying to get by. Yeah, maybe he was getting women because of the money he was making illegally, but he was Sean Carter before that, just a regular dude
Yeah, but
getting on the bus like us.
what's your
And you
point with
think
that?
people what's the point?
With that, he was a
The
regular
point
dude.
is that it's hard to say no for a man
Yeah,
when you get an opportunity. How many opportunities you get at work, Lex?
no,
I
I
know
don't
I
get
don't
it.
get I
I
don't
don't
get
get
any.
any.
I
Yeah,
don't get any. Let me take that back. I do get every now and again, but I'm older now, and I know what the consequences and the chances of me getting caught in that position. So I don't necessarily take advantage of it.
necessarily.
Um,
It's like gonna be
no, I
careful with
mean,
your words. You
let me
got
just put
people
it this way.
listening.
They listen, but what I'm saying is, I'm flattered. Every man is going to be flattered because they don't get it often. A woman can afford to roll their eyes, move on because they know what they have home. But a man, every man is going to think and like, oh shit, this is happening. And they have to
Bro,
take that opportunity to say, okay, let me do the right thing or the wrong thing.
cheating is a big thing, bro. Like to go
It's a
all the
very
way
big.
is one thing to flirt around and smile with someone or appreciate the conversation or whatever, but to go all the way and kiss and get naked and have sex, that's like a big step. Like my wife said, like you don't. That's not a mistake you make. You know what I mean? Like, but it's the feelings, like you said, for guy who don't get that attention, and he got it
So,
to just jump in. Like you got to
so,
think. Like we're
so,
older now. We got to think.
so let me ask you this, because you see, is she gonna forgive you? It sounds like she won't if you cheated.
Yeah, it sounds like she won't. Yeah, she
Yeah,
probably won't.
and then does that the same thing for you?
I'm at a different like. Not that I'm my wife, she's more stubborn than me. She's more like colder than me. Like it'll be a
But
harder
see,
time for her than me.
this is why I say for you and you her as an example, as a guy, like let's say it's a very tough decision whichever way you go. Like your situation, your wife is ready to say, "Fuck it, I'm out," because
She ain't gonna
you took
tolerate that.
exactly. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying she's wrong for it because she explained it to her. I'm just doing what you say, word for word. She said, "You kissing, you got to take your clothes off," and then when you said it like that, I was like, "Damn, well, she's right." If you because that means you had time to think through all that thing. And now we didn't put drugs or alcohol in the equation, but even if it was or wasn't, that does sound like bad. Like, you took your top off, took your shoes, pants, socks, clothes,
Well,
kissing, and you just went to it.
let's get deeper though.
No, no,
Finish
no.
your
But
thought.
we
Finish your
gotta
thought.
stop. I'm gonna stop right there because what I'm saying is that she was ready to give it all up when a lot of people are getting long-term effects in your situation, meaning you're married, house, kids. So at that time, you're just pissed off and you're thinking about your feelings, but you don't realize how much of a
Yeah,
broad reaction. That even Jay-Z put that in the song. Another kid playing football with your son, and
future.
basically saying somebody else raising your kid because of one mistake you made. So before you just ready to throw it all away, why wouldn't you want to go counseling? I mean, what if I am remorseful? Even though, yes, I did take my clothes off, kiss, I had time to think. Why
So
wouldn't you want to go to counseling before we
there
throw
is
it away in your situation? Not in not in Joe down the street that's living alone and got a girlfriend. He just cheated on her.
There's
That's the
nothing wrong.
difference.
There's nothing wrong with counseling. If I feel like if two people, if two of you got both of you guys wants it or like willing to work out, but if one is like, I'm not, why do I need counseling for you? You stay cheating and this is what you okay, why would you cheat? Like why would
It's
you
something. There's always
right,
a reason behind everything. There's
right.
something missing, and maybe in a
And,
relationship.
and we talked about well, it was, we talked about a lot of things, but I remember you said sometimes like yo, you just want to just not come home and just drive away type of thing. It's like that's how stressful sometimes the household could be. Like it could
Mm-hmm.
be, especially like for men, it's like you're dealing with a lot, as men that you
Mm-hmm.
deal with, and it's like why stick around? Let's just leave type of thing. But like in a relationship, it's a lot of for both men and women. It's a lot on our plates, and it's sometimes it's not fun. Like I
Mm-hmm.
think Michelle Obama said, it's like your whole time married, all your years is not going to be great. Like you're not going to have all great years. You're going to have some rough years, and it's facts. It's true. Not all my marriage years was great. Some of them was rough. Some of them was I had thoughts. She probably had thoughts because you're in that rough space, and it's like
Mm-hmm.
you're just not happy. So if you're not
Mm-hmm.
happy, and especially if you're at work and you have these work wives and work husbands that treating you better and stuff like that, you might feel you might feel something because it's like you're not getting that at home. That's where they come up with that 80-20 rule type of thing. It's like your wife does a whole bunch of stuff for you, 80%, but there's 20% that she's not giving you. And that 20% is given to you somewhere else, especially at your job. So someone saying you look nice, or you look good today, and like just
Mm-hmm.
being nice to you all the time and flirting with you, making you feel good. And you might think about taking that next level because it's becoming sexual at that point. Like she's turning you on, you're turning her on, you're making each other feel good. Like I always remember what this guy at my job said to me. It was like, yo, because I saw him talk to a girl and she's married, church girl, she's married. And I know, I'm not sure if he was married, but I'm sure he was in a relationship. But he told her, you look nice today. She had her hair done, like, oh, you look nice today. Like he said it like with a smile, and she smiled. And he turned to me, he was like, I bet your husband ain't telling her that. He's like, I'm gonna get her watch. Like I'm gonna, he's that's how he's talking. Like, yo, I bet you
Did
her
he?
husband. I don't know. I don't know their relationship. I don't
Oh,
get involved with stuff like that. But like gossip, I stay out of it. He never told me he did. I know now he's when I see him on Facebook, he's married, and I don't know where
oh,
she's at.
this was
But
a while ago.
a while ago, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he said, I know her husband don't tell. When he said that, I was like, shit, I got to start telling my wife. It's like, I start telling my wife she look good because he's right though. Like, and like in a relationship, like I said, a lot of stuff is just stuck in a rut type of thing. Every day is the same thing, and it just you just don't feel happy. Like, but it's not all the time. It's like that, and most of the time, it should. If most of your marriage is unhappiness, you probably shouldn't be married, or like you said, seek counseling to help. But at that point, like I'm just the only thing I'm arguing against is the serial cheater. Like that I don't have
Yeah.
tolerance for.
So even a serial cheater needs counseling, man. I mean, why?
Yeah, but you don't need to be with them. Like they need to fix themselves, but like they
Okay,
don't need
so
to
how
be
do
in
you
that
know
marriage.
so whose fault is that? I mean, at that point, I'm really, I
Yeah,
mean, if
a
you
serial cheater.
allow, yeah, no, but but that's what I'm saying. Whose fault is that? Seriously, because if you're in a relationship and you're with somebody that you know is a serial cheater, that means you both need counseling. The one that's allowing it and not saying
Yeah,
anything and not
you're right,
demanding any changes,
but
and
you're
then
right.
the serial one.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what
they
I
both need counseling, but they both don't need to be together.
mean?
The counseling don't need to
No,
be y'all need to work it out.
we need
The
to
counseling mean you need to work on yourself.
we need
So
to
he need to work on himself, and she need to work on herself. but they
No, but
don't need to
we
be together. Like he
no,
don't need to be in a
we can't
marriage if he's
we,
always gonna be cheating,
we
and
can't
she don't
judge.
need to be in one if she's always allowing it.
Yeah, but we need to break down the whole picture before we just automatically say you should be leaving. I mean, it's the same thing. Like with your situation, you have a wife, kids, a house. So if one of you were a multiple cheater, I just need to split.
Yeah,
It's just a lot that you're walking away from. So a person, let's say I'm single, but I have a girlfriend that I constantly cheated on. That one I could say, yeah, you need to walk away from it because you have no ties with that person.
okay, but for you, if you were married or a committed relationship and you have the family and everything with that person, and she cheated on you multiple times, you're saying you still gonna work it out with her? That's what you're.
If I'm
That's what.
married
Yeah, and she
and
cheated on
that's
you
it.
multiple times.
If I'm married, do we have a house? Do we
You
have
have a
kids?
house, kids, right? You're
Uh,
my situation now. You she cheated
for
on you multiple times.
multiple times. Well, then we both need counseling. Maybe not together at the
Yeah, but
same time, but
right.
yeah,
But you would you want to work it out with the person?
married with kids.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna walk away with marriage and kids and a
multiple
house.
times. Like she, this is
Well,
okay.
that's
Like
first
if
of all, yeah, but then I don't know.
I don't respect you as a person if you cheat multiple times, bro. Like I feel like
Exactly.
you don't respect me.
First of
Like
all,
for you to keep doing it.
all right. So let me just answer your question. That would never happen. It's no way I'm gonna tolerate somebody constantly cheating on me. And
That's the question I'm asking you, but
you,
you act
you
like you
said,
don't
well,
want
you
to. That's the
no, because you
answer right
said
there.
what I leave, but
Yeah,
that would
that's
never happen because I'm not gonna let it happen multiple times. If it happens once, I'm gonna I'm taking action to something. Is I'm trying to make sure this doesn't happen again.
right.
Hey,
But
we
if
gonna
it
talk
happens
about this.
again, it's
It happens again.
disrespectful. Disrespectful the first time, but if you keep doing it, like bro, like you have no respect for me. Like
I
what
don't
the
think
hell?
it would get past two because when you say multiple, it sounds like three, four times. Man. I
Yeah,
don't think
but
it
yeah,
would
like
get
you said,
past
I'm
two.
with you. It wouldn't get past one. Like, okay, one time, that's it for me. Like, okay, we did it
No,
that
no,
one
no, no,
time.
no, no.
Let's
When I mean one time, I mean I'm not gonna just like run away. I'm not walking away.
right. Yeah, if she cheated on you one time, you're not
And
walking away.
I'm not
She
walking
cheated on
away.
you
Depending on
two
the
times, or you still stay.
I gotta see these circumstances, man.
Right, right,
I
right. I
really
mean,
gotta
I
see
get
these
it,
circumstances
but
before I
just
just
the
say
type
yeah,
of
no.
person you have to be. It's like the men that I know who cheat is like they basically um it's like I know them better than their spouses because like the conversations that we would have is like they constantly talking about other women. They constantly um trying to get with other women. It's like what kind of person are you knowing you have a wife and family at home and you it's like you live in another life. Like that's the men that I know. It's like they live in another life. And
Mhm.
you can't respect that. I can't respect that. They shouldn't respect that. Like as a woman, you shouldn't tolerate that. Like basically, if you find out he have a whole other family or he just another person, like they always say, you are who you are when no one is looking. It's like
Mhm.
that's the true you. Like you could pretend. I see it a lot. Like men, a lot of men, they pretend to be someone that they're not in front of their wife. Like they're pretending to me. They're pretending when they're
Women the
around their
same
wife.
way. Women do the same thing.
I'm not saying they don't, but I mean, I'm not going to generalize to that degree. Like, I'm just talking about the men that I know. Like, I've known men that basically, when they're around me or in a barber shop or playing basketball, like they constantly like, looking at other women and like trying to holler at other women, try to talk to them. But obviously, when they're around their wife, they're not looking. They're pretending. To me, it's like they're pretending to be someone else. But their real self is when they're with me. Is when they let their guard down and they like. You don't have to. I'm not asking. You don't have to impress me. Like I'm not asking you to go talk to another girl. Like I'm not even like initiating that. Like why would you take it upon yourself because you're around me? You're comfortable and you're
Mhm.
doing that. Like those men. Like I don't think their wives should tolerate that or want to be with them or give them a second chance or go to counseling to work it out. But
Well, those type of people are in denial of them not thinking anything's wrong with them. Like if you constantly got a hit on somebody and you're in a committed relationship, married, then you need counseling. They just don't know it, and the spouse unfortunately don't know it, or maybe they do, and they just haven't had that conversation where, hey, maybe we should go see somebody about, this or that, because they can sense something's missing. I mean, and then if the man that's doing all of this flirting and cheating can't see that something's missing, then they're doing the disjustice to them. Because if you have to constantly go hit on somebody and do this and do that, and you have a home with a wife and all of this, how do you which the end game? You know what I mean? Because let's say you got a wife, kid, married, and you out there getting your hair cut and you see this guy constantly hitting on women. Why are you doing that? What all right, the woman says yes. Now what? You got the wife and kid at home. Where are you going to take this woman? And what if you wind up really liking her? Are you going to walk away from that?
so
Or
I
is it
just feel like
supposed to be?
they shouldn't be married. Like if that's the life you want to live, live it. Like, but be honest with yourself.
Or maybe you should ask yourself, what is missing in my home that I have to even do this?
It's nothing, bro. It's nothing. I don't
What's
think it's
nothing?
that. It's
No, you
nothing
don't
miss
know.
for men to to like I'm you're right, I don't know. And it could be maybe
No. So it's when women and men do that, there's something missing. There's something missing.
maybe so. But like again, I'm taking from real experiences.
Or they just, like you said, I'm sorry. Or they just were not
Bro.
meant to be with anybody at that time.
That's what I feel. Majority of the situation, like the guys that I know, like I know this guy, I knew this guy like at work constantly. Both of them, like these two guys, they hang out a lot. They go to parties and they straight telling stories about the different women they have. And I checked Facebook and like their wife tagged them to like an occasion that they went together. And like the wife be posting and bragging. First of all, social media, people only post the good stuff. But it's so funny to me when I see the wives posting these like events with the family man and how grateful they are to the guy. And I'm hanging out with the guy at work and listening to the stories about him sleeping with a whole bunch of other women and
Yeah,
how like yo
sure, man. You can
he
have a bunch
can't
of.
he can't respect. This is back in the day,
All
but
right,
he
good.
can't. There's no way he could respect her. But she like social media just maybe just for the likes for the show, and it's not obviously a lot of it is not even real. So like
Mhm.
I don't even post on social media anymore. I don't like it to be honest. I use it all the time, especially for my business. But to like when we used to go on vacation and just every time we went on vacation or the beach, I would post a family picture and
Why'd you
stuff like
stop
that.
doing that?
I don't like it. I don't like the idea like you only showing like your happy moments.
So
Like
put some other stuff up. Put the normal moments up there.
nah, I just don't like it. I don't when I see it, I don't even like to see it when people post happy stuff because I just don't think it's real. And even if it's real, it's like I just think you're just doing it for the camera. Like
So you don't do
I
it
don't like it.
because you think other people thinking you doing it just because of the camera or the lights.
I just don't do it because I just think it's like it's not real to me. It's fake.
Sometimes I do it just because it's another form of an archive. I can go back and say, hey, yeah, I did this, and I ain't got to look for it. It's on my social
Yeah.
media. But I'm kind of the same thing. What you're saying.
But let me tell you
But,
what I do before you get on. I with the post stuff, like I would take a picture and send it to my family members. So we might have a group chat that I
mm,
would share with them. But like to everybody, like the 5,000, how many followers you have that people don't really know you and trying to impress. Like I just don't. I don't subscribe to that anymore. But go ahead. What you say that? I didn't mean to cut you off. Hope you remember.
I don't.
Yeah, I
But
know you did, man. Damn.
but what I was going to say, no, but basically what I'm saying is that I'm kind of on the same. I just have different reasons why I don't post as much. Because I was just listening to you. You say you don't like it, for that. You think it's all fake. Yeah, that's one way to look at it. I look at it as uh,
Archive where you
when I
have
was
people.
aside from the archive, I was looking at was I was doing it too much, and other people might look at it as a sleep bragging, and I'm not. I'm
That too. Yeah.
I'm not. Because it didn't. Some people, if you're doing one thing in your fan line, maybe not fortunate enough to do the same thing.
Right.
So
You
it kind of
post
looks
about
like
your
you're bragging.
house, your cars, your family
Right.
vacations.
Yeah. I did that when I got my
Yeah.
house. I was really excited and I was not trying to brag. And I just,
I wouldn't if I
I'm
looked
not
at
doing
it and
this
saw, yeah,
anymore.
I wouldn't look at it like you're trying to brag. I just, for me personally, I don't. I look at other people's stuff. I might even like your stuff, but when I do it, like you said, that's more my answer too. Like it- that's not my whole life type of thing. So when I post it, it's like, okay, yeah,
And you know
am I
what's
bragging?
crazy? And we talk about the other side track, and then we got to get back on the original topic. Is that where we come from? We come from where we don't have a lot, so
Yeah,
we have to brag every little thing we get. Like when I got my car, drive through the hood slow. Everybody can see that you're doing good, or you get to do first kicks or whatever. It's like because I think is where we came from. We don't have much, so you want to flaunt what you have. So I think a part of that, I transitioned it to social media, bragging a little bit, but then I had to step back and catch myself. I'm like, I don't like this feeling. I don't want to feel like I'm doing
that's what I'm
better than
saying.
you.
That's
Well,
what I'm
so
saying.
I just don't do it. Anyway, so the original topic was for today was what men had to really go through versus what women have to go through with uh, the attention. I think that's a part of the conversation
Well,
I was having with
it
my
was
coworker.
the limit of you know, I guess
Yeah,
your
yeah,
limit.
but
What's the limit?
that was
Men or women, what's your limit
yeah,
to stay in a
that's the
relationship?
topic, but
Like the
but
boundaries that you would
right, but the
go over.
part of it was I had to make an example for this young lady at the job. I was saying that how often do you get a hit on? You know, she couldn't really answer it, and then being that she was young, she was like, "Oh no, I hit on men too." I was like, "Bullshit! No, you don't. You'll say something comment every now and again, but there's no comparison to what a woman gets on a daily basis. They may not get a straight up comment like "You're gorgeous" or "I want you" or "Could we fuck" or something. I don't know what they might say, but it's going to be somewhat along the lines of flirting. Men don't get that
You
at
know,
all.
you know what? Like I know my wife. She ain't
What's
gonna.
the what's
Go
the
ahead.
small? All right, you might get in trouble for this one,
Yeah,
but what's the smallest innuendo comment that you've got? Like recently, has it been anything recently that you're like, "Hey,
I'm an
was she
old
flirt?
man now. Nobody. I don't get nothing.
Fuck out of here, Lex. You got gray hair, but don't mean you're old. You're not old."
I don't get anything. But
All right.
let me. Speaking of that, let me tell you
No,
about.
no, 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 no. Wait. One more. Don't try to brush it off, man.
No,
You get
I was gonna
any
piggyback off of it.
small thing that you had to think. Look, that you had to think. Was she? Was that a flirt? All right, don't even worry about it. And you just went on with it. Did you have to think a little bit?
Now, the only place it will be at your workplace, and when I'm at my workplace, is like tunnel vision. I don't get that at all. I don't see it. I don't pick up on it. And my wife would probably say the same thing. Like she don't. She thinks she don't get hit on, and then when she tell me stories like, "Yo, he was hitting on you," like you don't even know
Exactly.
when somebody's hitting on you.
She's trying to make you feel good. Shout out to Terry. Good job. But no,
That,
she gets into.
she
That's the
she
question I want her
that's
to
what. But
answer.
I'm saying I don't think she knows it, and maybe I don't know it either. But so when she's telling me about conversations, like, "Yo, he was hitting on you," like he was like, she's like,
Okay.
"Yeah, she was like, nah." I'm like, "Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the work wife.
nah, not that." But my wife, she has this thing that she does, and she ain't gonna like that I say it because I always tell her about it, and she don't realize she's doing it. And she talks to a lot of people. Part of her job is to talk to a lot of people. That she has to be friendly, even if she's not. She has to be friendly. She talks to people. And she has this thing where when she talks to you, sometimes she put her hand like on your shoulder or your arm, or she tap it or something like that. I tell her all the time, like Do not do that. It's like
Yeah,
men will take that like
and
you're trying to.
it's kind of borderline. You can get in trouble for that shit.
No, no, not the way she does. It's not. It's
No,
not
no,
like.
you can get in trouble for it.
It's like
I could get in trouble.
but maybe for men, but like a woman, like say she's talking and she just like kind of like tap your hand or your
Don't
arm or
touch me.
whatever.
Don't touch me.
Yeah,
I'm telling you right now, bro. If
yeah.
I, and this is, I'm not gonna mess up your story, but look if I didn't like you. You my coworker, get it, like, and that was your thing. That's my window, bro. You
Yeah,
just touch
I
me.
get
I
it. Like
feel inappropriate.
yeah,
HR,
that's fine.
yeah, you saw this?
That's fine.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happened to me one time at work when I used to work in Lakeland and corporate thing. And they're probably I said exactly where I worked, so they if they do know, they know
Oh
now. But
shit.
and I always tell my wife, she always bring it up because I was talking to to a lady, like a coworker. She was like next level or senior level because I used to do IT or whatever. And we go to them if we have a problem we can't solve, whatever. And we're talking, and I leave, and I think I told you this story before. And she smacked me on my backside on my butt, like she tapped me on my butt. Like I turn around and she tapped me on my butt. I'm like, what the
Well,
hell
you
just
could have
happened?
got you a nice check, man.
Yeah, yeah, but like, and I always think about it, but it's like, first of all, like as an,
How old was
I
she?
didn't feel violated, huh?
How old was she?
How old?
Was she?
I don't know her exact age, but she was older than me.
All right, you
I
can't give
would
me a
say,
ballpark figure? Yeah, ballpark figure.
at the time maybe close to 50 at the
Shit.
time.
And
Yeah, I,
you,
I was in my 30s. She was older. She might have been 40 something. I might have been 30 something. And I remember we had a work event and she was there and I told my wife, I took her to the event and I said, that's the lady who like she's feminine, but she was tough. So I'm like, maybe she was just like that's her
was
dude
it?
side that she was just like just felt
You
like
think she's a lesbian?
now she had her husband there.
Oh, and what did Terry say?
She didn't take it personal. She was
You
she
think
thought
she
it
was
was
making
funny.
that was a sexual advance? Like you think she was just like trying
I
to have that was her weight?
possibly.
But it was one of those hits on the back, like good game.
I don't know. It felt I never had that experience before. I didn't even when we playing a game.
Bro, you never got hit in the back when you was playing pause playing basketball.
Yeah, but not it doesn't happen often, but I think
I
it's
know.
done. But when it happens, it's like you numb, you don't even think about it. So you don't even give it a second thought.
So she
But
gave you
this
one of those perfect timing, numb to it,
yo,
or you
it was the feeling it was like soft. So it's like,
uncomfortable.
it's not for me.
It was
I
uncomfortable. Yeah,
not for me.
it's
It wasn't it didn't
that's not for anybody
it
really.
didn't make me uncomfortable though. I'm not that I was gonna say I'm a man, but it's like I remember in that same environment, it was a girl who always made sexual jokes, and she made it to everybody, me, everybody. Never took like she makes sexual jokes that's like nasty, but I never took it okay, like to a level. And she said it to a guy, and he took it to HR, and she got in trouble, and she lost her training um, privileges or her position she was demoted because the guy complained. That would never be me. I would never
Complain?
complain about anything a woman does. That like I could handle myself. If
Easy,
I don't
man.
like something,
Easy. You go. Oh, so you gonna say something? You just not gonna tell.
yeah, I would say so way before I tell. I would never tell.
Okay.
I would never go to management and report, hey, she said something sexual to me. I didn't like it. Oh, hey, she tapped me on my butt
Even if you
and
didn't like
I
that
didn't feel.
person.
Yeah, even if I didn't like that person. Like we from the hood, man. Like you don't snitch, man. Like not to say like well, you tell if something is it's a lot maybe just how I was brought up, but I just see it as weak. Like I wouldn't tell. I feel like yo, you can handle it yourself. Why would you need to go tell somebody like How old are you?
Okay.
You
Only
saying you
reason
would
I'm
tell
like kind of
somebody?
borderline. I'm kind of borderline with it only because uh sometimes it's two sides to the same complaint. Like if a woman is wearing a provocative dress, sometimes they'll get a pass and nobody's gonna say anything. But if a man wears something inappropriate, it's gonna get handled right away.
I don't understand that one. What's inappropriate that a guy is gonna wear?
I don't know, or do something or say something. So just like you didn't complain about her smacking you in the ass,
Yeah.
the roles reverse. You
Oh
smacked
yeah.
her on the ass.
Yeah, but you should
She's
know
going
better.
straight to HR,
Yeah. Yeah. You're
and
right.
two other people swore they saw it. You're
Right.
done.
I'm okay with that. Like I know I wouldn't do that. So I'm not advocating for myself. Like that's not something I would do to somebody. What she did to me, I would never do to a woman. Even like to hug another female, like you, like yo, you don't just like you said, you don't touch. Like that's what it is for men. But for a woman to do it to you, I wouldn't turn her in. I wouldn't complain about it to higher ups, and I wouldn't expect you to either. I wouldn't expect another guy to do that. I just feel like men. It's like you don't hear about men getting raped, right? It's women. Like it's not to be sexist or anything like that. I'm just taught to protect our women, so I don't subscribe to women being assaulted or whatever. Like, don't touch them. Don't touch
Mhm.
them at all. Like, don't touch them on the butt. Don't say sexual stuff to them. Don't disrespect them. But like, if a woman do it to you, I feel like to a man, I feel like we should be able to handle it, and it's not that serious because we can't be raped. We can't be assaulted by them. We can't
Oh, we
be
can.
yeah,
It's
you
so,
definitely can.
it's
I don't want to be insensitive to those because there are men out there that, but it's a small percentage,
right,
honestly. And it's like I just feel like as a man, you're supposed to be able to handle that situation 9 out of 10 times. And
right.
I'm not the 1% that can't. Like I'm fine. I always bring up that story, so it seems like I'm not fine because it just never happened to me before, and it
That's
never
what I'm
did
saying.
again.
That's what goes back to what men. What
The
I was
Me
like
Too
saying.
movement. I'm a
That
part of
too.
that. Throw me in
But
there.
the part well, back to what we was originally talking about, your limits. Um, one more time, what is your limit? Like if like you said when you were younger, your limits, you had no limit. You
Let me tell you again. So, like, when I was younger, I had no, I wouldn't tolerate someone cheating on me when I was
is that
younger.
the only thing though? Is because we going back to just one topic of
Cheating.
that's the only thing. She fought in
So,
bed, you're all right with that. She
yeah,
burned the food, you're all right with that.
yeah,
She's
um,
doesn't make any money and you have to make it all,
yeah,
you're all right with that.
yeah,
But
yeah. Cheating. So that will be the thing. I mean, I could get past it, but I don't see anything else uh, that she could do that we
no,
couldn't
okay,
work
let's
out.
let's 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 go back. This so you got who do you want in a person? What do you think? Um, Give me a general response of what a man wants from another part, or a partner wants from another partner.
I don't know, man. I just think, it's just when you're young, it's different. So, like, what I want from my wife is what she gives me. Like, it's mainly a partnership to help take care of the kids, and we spend time together. We always carve out time together and enjoy each other's company. Um, but I just want a partnership with benefits. You know what I'm saying? Like, somebody who's loyal to me, who thinks about me. Like, if I tell my wife, hey,
So
if I
the
like
reason,
something, hold on. If I tell her, like, I have a craving for a honey bun or something like, and then I don't ask her to buy the honey bun. I just say, man, I crave a honey, and then a day or two later, she buys the honey bun. It's like she showed that she care. She showed that she think about me. She showed that she's loyal, and she's a great partner. Like that's what I want.
Okay, so this is my final question. Um, you get all of that. She don't cheat, but she's she slowly slacks on everything else. She's not cheating though. She's not getting you that honey bun. She said, "Fuck those kids." She said, "I don't want to work anymore. I'm staying home." Now what? Are you good? You still gonna stay?
Yeah, yeah,
All right, all right, all right. Let me rephrase the question. She didn't get you that honey bun. She slacked off on the kids.
yeah.
She said, "Fuck the job, not working anymore."
She don't cheat though.
She
She's
she don't
loyal.
cheat. Okay, let me define loyal. Now she don't even want to do anything anymore. She's just like sexually exhausted. She's
Yeah.
just now she's just there. So
It's
now you have to.
frustrating. That would cause me to cheat. It won't cause me to leave. It will cause me to cheat. All that you're describing will cause you to find affection elsewhere or to accept the
So
attention.
what if one of those people that we were talking about that you said you don't tolerate cheating? That's why they cheated.
So I'm trying to say, it's like I said, you could get past the one time, and once you do it, it's like, but if you continue to do it, continue to cheat, continue to have different women,
Oh, you now you continue to cheating because you got
you shouldn't
the
be in
new
a
you got the new
relationship.
you
What
got
I'm
the new
saying,
no, but you got the new wife now. The only reason you was cheating all that time because you got the new wife. And you told us, say, look, man, I'm not getting none at home. And you're not doing nothing. So you just saying the
so
guys at
why
that point
stay?
should
Why
just
why
leave.
don't just why don't just divorce and leave? But
Well,
I'm
before
saying
you
that
do that,
those are reasons to cheat. Like everything you describe about her, like if she's not making you happy, so
yeah.
you
And what
cheat.
about those? What about those guys that you said in the barbershop that you said? This nigga, I just saw his post and he was smiling with his wife, but he's over here hitting on this woman. He's
Yeah,
probably hitting on a woman because he ain't getting nothing at home.
you probably right. And like I know outside looking in, you're like, man, she works a good job.
Hmm.
She seemed like a good person,
Right.
but like why would he do that to her? Maybe she's just like when it
And
comes to the
that
bedroom,
goes
he's
back to
not
saying that go back to what you said. You said, a lot of the stuff that people post online is just for the likes and it's
yeah,
not what really
it's not
is.
actual right.
Exactly. So
Right.
before we prejudge all these men and women that's out here cheating, not to say that they completely in the right by doing what they're doing, because they should end the relationship or get out before they doing what they're doing. I see it to this day. People making sexual advances toward people or actually doing something and they're in a relationship. And I'm like, why are they doing it? But I'm not friends with them. I'm just outside looking in, hearsay, he say, she said, but I know that they're in a relationship. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what is their reason for doing that when they got kids at home? They got the wife, but then you hear sides, other side of the story, excuse me, of they're not getting nothing at home and it's really rocky. But
Then leave, right?
no
Then
matter
leave.
what, yeah, and no matter what, you should
Yeah.
be ending it. You should
Which
be
again is like so
not
eight,
moving on before you
eight,
break up.
80-20 thing. So you get that 20% and you're good with that. Like, hey, I got 80% at home. I'm getting this 20% on the side. And that completes me. Like I could live like this. 80% at home. My wife is
Excuse me.
doing her part at home, but she's not doing that sexual thing that I like, that 20% that I like. But I could get that 20% out there. I'm getting 20%. It's good. You know what? I'm finished with that 20%. Let me get another 20% from someone else. But because my wife, she's just not putting it out. She's just not like, okay. Um, Not that I understand that, but I could see why. It's like I don't condone it, but I understand it. Like I understand why you would, because she just not. doing that. Like my wife, she's not as sexual as me, type of thing, but it's not enough to where like, yo, I'm not getting it at all at home, so I gotta go. It
Mm.
was this clip that I saw, and I think I had sent it to my wife. It was on Instagram. A female was like, "Yo, I make sure my husband is empty every time before he leaves the house."
Did you send that to me?
Maybe I don't know.
He was a woman talking with a man. The man was right next to him or something.
I don't think so. It was a
Nah.
while ago.
Oh,
It was a female perspective. It was female that I make sure he's empty. Like, yo, he leave the
mm.
house, even if it's whatever it is, he got, because that feeling of being empty, you you good. You're good. So sexually, like if you get it sexually, you don't want it. Uh, it's like in at least 24 hours. You don't. It's like once you have that release, you don't need another one. At least for another 24 hours, or for a couple people, a couple days, or maybe a week.
That's the
You
older
good.
you get, though, Lex. Now, we talking to a young
But
crowd.
yeah,
You
even
can empty
if
them out all you want.
um, I don't remember. I remember when I was younger, I could go often, couple times a day and stuff like that. But
I
I
remember
don't
when I was
think
younger.
you would
I
want
remember
to have sex twice in one day with two different women. Like I don't know. I don't think I ever had that feeling.
I have. I'm telling you right now, we talking to a different crowd, so he
Yeah,
can do it. He can do
but
it.
okay,
Straight
like
up.
and you're right. We are talking, and we're talking to like mainly people who married or like a committed
A little bit
relationship.
older, and you try
Yeah,
to do the right thing for
yeah.
sure.
Well, if
Uh,
you're living free or young, I mean, do you? I guess live your
yeah,
life.
and if you living free, young, and you can if you have that feeling to the woman tried to do her best, empty you out before you left, and you still have that feeling midday, you shouldn't be in a relationship. You should just
Right,
enjoy your youth.
right.
Uh,
Don't lie to yourself and to your wife or to your partner. Like try to be have a communication, like what you want. Let her know that, or let him know that you're not being satisfied sexually. Like imagine you tell your wife or your husband, I don't, you're not really satisfying me sexually. Like it's, I have these needs, and I feel like I don't even think you would have that like a lot of people don't have that communication, that conversation. But if you tell your partner that, they're gonna feel like they might take it personal, like what do you mean? But they're gonna be like, shit, I need to step up. And that's probably just all you need, is just to communicate that, like just to let your partner know if that's the one thing that's lacking. And maybe they could tell you, hey, like, yo, um, that's lacking for me, but like I need you to help me do the laundry or pick up the kids so I don't have so much things on my plate, so I'm not so tired, so I could have sex with you more often. Like maybe just a conversation, a communication is probably what most of our relationships need before
mhm.
we go to counseling. Counseling is fine. I'm not discouraging that, but just talk to each other
Now,
is better.
counseling is always a good option, only because it, even if it's not through a professional, it should be through a professional because they're going to mention some things that you might have overlooked that's missing,
That's
and that
fine.
needs to be looked at.
That's
So,
fine.
but yeah, but if you're young and you just want to do multiple, then just be by yourself. But we've been on topic again. In closing, what's the limits? I think it's unanimous, man. I mean, like with I guess with the cheating, but
So the limit
it
is
could be
what you said,
cheating.
but
I think
cheating
it's yeah, it's unanimous. Pretty
for
much, I
me is
think we both
multiple
kind of
cheating. But go ahead. That's my limit.
right. Well, I thought yours was one. I thought mine was multiple. I think that's what you originally said, but it's okay.
Well, one as
Uh,
far as one is a pass, two is a no. So
okay,
two will be multiple,
right.
right? So
Um,
multiple is my limit. Like that's once you do multiple, I could excuse it maybe the once, as far as my being a grown up now and
and with the
understanding everything.
family and the kids.
Right.
I mean, again, if it was just a girlfriend, no kids,
Well, before
living
we go,
alone.
what's clearly what's your limit? I mean, your limit is cheating, but your limit is what exactly with cheating?
Um,
And is it only cheating? You
it's
probably
it,
don't have. You
it's
probably have more than just cheating, because I think I
it
know
has to
you.
be it has to be it has to be it has to be a multitude of things. Like it could be. So we all have a limit of something that irritates us, and some things that irritates us that you just gonna overlook. Nobody's perfect. Um, my small peeve is I have a little refrigerator in my garage. I stock them up with waters, beers, juices, whatever. My girl comes in there and she'll take the waters out, but don't put it back. I'm like, fuck, put it back. Now I wouldn't leave her for that, but it has to be a multitude of things that just keep reoccurring. We just dived in on cheating because that's like big. That involves emotions, that involves feelings, and that happens multiple times. You can't take it. So that's why I asked you. I said, okay, she didn't cheat, but she slacked on everything else. She stayed home, wasn't cooking, wasn't cleaning, wasn't doing nothing. I might leave you for that, even though you wasn't cheating. I might.
Yeah, I think you
But
would.
before I do, I'm gonna go to counseling and find out why you're you changed. You did what you did. That's why I said with the cheating, you do it once, and I got this family, house, kids. I might not just walk away right then and there. I'm like, hey, we need to go to counseling. Same thing if you gave up the cooking, cleaning, watching the kids, or whatever the partnership that you was doing, you gave all that up. Before I walk away, I want to know why. Why'd you give it up?
Let's
So we're
let's
gonna go to
end
counseling.
let's end on this. I know with I've done the counseling once, and I know a lot of us.
Does it? Let me ask you. Did it help any?
I think it did, but
Okay.
I think it.
Did she
I don't.
think it did?
I think she did, and I think she wanted to continue. Me, I was like, okay, they just confirmed everything I said. But so,
It's
to
fucking
be honest,
smart
like
ass.
when a lot of people talk to me, they be like, "Yo, that's what my counselor said," or whatever. But just speaking about counseling, like because I'm open to like other. You know how I am. Like I'm open to like you see my point of views and stuff like that. I'm not perfect, but like I try to reason with people. I try to like understand their side, and I try to whatever. But with counseling, like that's something a lot of us don't do. A lot of us is starting to do it more. But back in the day, especially black men or black people, counseling wasn't a thing that we subscribed to at all. I think more now people are doing it, but I think it should be even more, I guess. Um, but personally, I like self like those self help books or audio books I always listen to. I'm always trying to improve myself. So I'm think I'm self aware and I can handle criticism. And not that I don't need counseling, I'll be open to it, but I just feel I'm always working on myself. So I'm always trying to improve and do better. And I think if you do that, like I think you'll be all right. I'm not saying I'm perfect or I'm all right, but I just think if you work on yourself constantly, you should be all right, and you should be all right for your partner.
Well said, man. Let's end it on that. Get off the bus.
On that note, yeah,
Um,
let's
we'll
get off
see
the
you
bus.
next week, man.
Consistent, consistently
Yeah, definitely. All right,
get
man.
off the bus, man. Yep.